the shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. Start on the ground here on first down. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Yeah, he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. He'll air this one out for Mims. That's caught at the 25. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. 49. Check 49. Check. One pass. Run it.
They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. Flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Yeah, this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are on the board first here this afternoon. Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. No run back here for Reed, so this will come out to the 25. They fake the handoff. Now Lance. And it's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. So Charles already down 7-0 early. They opt to take a shot there on the first play of scrimmage, but that plan backfires.
That feels a little bit like last week's loss lingering into this game, doesn't it? You know, you're down 7 already. You lost last week. It's almost like they were trying to get it all back in one shot, trying to take a big chunk play right out of the gate.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great play there. His 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Certainly not what they wanted there, so the football by rule comes out to the 40. Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. To throw, it's Lance. Drops it to Jones in the flat. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up 2nd down. This defense for the Broncos, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
He has it complete to Christian Watson. And they're going to get this up to midfield. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready, because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Down, 10 black.
Lance now on first down. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take over here up near the 40.
Well, they're certainly not giving much up to their defense, are they? Because for the 2nd time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. 1-7, their record here at the midway point of the season. And right now, this organization, more than likely, if you look at it, CD, probably in for a rough second half of the season.
Well, we've seen teams turn things around in other places. I mean, we've seen 1-7 first halves turn into 5-3 second halves. But with this squad, I think these guys aren't playing to get into the playoffs. They're playing for their jobs. So is the coaching staff. They're coaching for theirs. Front office trying to keep theirs. The heat is on from all directions. And what's interesting is a lot of these guys are playing for jobs and trying to keep their positions. It might be just in the league in some other spot.
Here And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Nothing the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Check 50, check 50. Check 55, Mike. He's trying to win. He's trying to bust. Check, 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 check.
Now it's Wilson. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Broncos have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Fields it right around the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. And Lance throws the interception, his 3rd. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted. Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Wilson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Wilson. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead. And part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Broncos are able to add on to their first half lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and it is 28-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Reed going to bring it out of the end zone. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Check 26, check 26.
On 2nd and 10, Lance. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this.
That's what we are. Here we go.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
Here's Lance to throw it.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him, because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one covers 29 yards, first down.
Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward. On 1st and 10, here's Lance.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and it goes down. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked up by Caden Stearns. And the Broncos are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. Well, that is interception number 4 for him, Charles. 4 here in the first half alone, and they're already trailing by 4 possessions.
Makes me wonder, partner, do they just not have any confidence at all in the backup, or do they just have that much confidence in him? Able to throw 4 picks already, they're certainly hoping that he can turn things around and quickly.
A good pickup there on 1st as a screen pass gets him 8.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
From the 17, Wilson.
Got his man, it's Dulcich.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down.
And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
On first down, Wilson. Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Rashawn Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the scrambler or the dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. That'll go for a gain of 7, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
Right there in the middle, 55. Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's go.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that kick will go out of bounds right at the 20-yard line.
Ready. 60 red. 60 red. Steal, flat.
A final shot before half for Lance.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the 3rd quarter. Reed going to bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Okay, ready? I'm here all day. Double tight, guys, double tight.
Now Lance.
That's caught by the 6'8" tight end, Zach Gentry.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And my goodness, another interception. Hooked up by Mike Hughes.
And the Broncos are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side.
And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up second down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson, his throw incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Wilson. Got a man complete. It's Hamler. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
Well, up big, but still not hesitating to take some shots downfield, CD. I guess they really want to hammer home their dominance in this one.
Yeah, that much is apparent, partner. If they keep completing throws like that, they'll keep that gap awfully wide, as they've established already.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Packers pick it up. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. Past the 20. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. Yeah, so hold the phone here, Charles. I'd kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And it's now a 28-7 ball game. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On 2nd and 15 now. Wilson is going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
A couple of first downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Here comes Hamler on the jet sweep. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Brought down that time by Quay Walker.
Before they can snap it, time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Second down at 7. Here's a handoff out of the gun.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4. In motion left goes a tight end.
Here we go, D. Here I come again.
On 3rd down, they'll try and pick it up with a counter. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And he hits the upright, but it caroms in anyway. But plenty of distance there as he banks it in.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
And this will come out to the 25 as Reed opts for the touchback.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Play action. Now it's Lance.
On the move to his left.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
And now here's another interception.
And the Broncos will take over possession here up at the 44.
Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him, but you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on, but it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
Backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Now Wilson.
This pass caught by Hamler. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter. But the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. They go play action now. Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Packers pick it up. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line. And that's where the return stops.
Hey, we can push ball security all we want here, but how about that effort on defense? Excellent job inside the red zone. Just took away at least 3 points by forcing that fumble.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because
They're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And he is going to have a Packers first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. Lance now on first down.
Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. 2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10.
Now Lance again.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Caden Stearns. And the Broncos are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you could just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Broncos, it's a rare bright spot in what's been a tough season as they move to 2-7 now on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Raiders will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.